This is Tar Heel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonia Williams.
Stress is a part of life, especially business life. There are simply too many things that require our attention, which can mean that it can be far too easy to be overwhelmed or worn down. Well, today's expert is here to help us establish healthy habits for busy professionals that will help us stress less and live more. And joining us now is Monica Bundy, lifestyle strategist. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we have had career coaches, lifestyle coaches on the show before. What exactly is a lifestyle strategist?
So as a lifestyle strategist, my main overall goal is to teach busy professionals how to stress less and live more. So what I do is I look at their current lifestyle habits, and then I compare it to the goal that they want to reach, and then I develop a custom lifestyle plan or strategies to help them reach that goal in a realistic time frame.
Okay. Now, I know that you have put together a list of things to help people stress less and live more. And the first one that we have is to look at your life and really just keep a daily due to done list.
Yes. So we hear make a to-do list all the time. But oftentimes when people create a to-do list, it's a laundry list. Who likes to do laundry? Not me.
Right.
So it's a long laundry list of things that needs to be done. And when I came up with the term due to done, it's a more intentional approach to creating what you're going to do or accomplish that day. Mm-hmm. And so, like, instead of having a long laundry list of things that you want to complete, you focus on the top 3 things that you're going to do, and you have a daily schedule, because in our busy lives, things come up and we feel like, oh, well, let me put that fire out. And what we were going to be intentional and complete that day, it gets put on the back burner. So when you have that hourly or half an hour schedule that you can see, you know, okay, well, I don't have the time to allocate to handle that right now. This is more important. And so also when you take things from due to done, it helps you not feel overwhelmed, and it gives you a confidence boost.
Mm-hmm. And that's really important for a busy professional, because there are, like you said, a lot of things that you have to do.
Exactly. And oftentimes, like, I always start my day with, how am I going to be intentional? Because when we don't have a plan, that just creates so much stress and overwhelm. So you want to make sure that you have that due to done list. And also, like, it highlights personal development, because in the busy corporate America, or, you know, being entrepreneur, we are so goal focused that self-care gets put on the back burner as well.
And when you talk about self-care, I think that's an important component of being a busy professional. Talk a little bit about what it means to be caring for yourself.
So, number one, self-care is definitely not selfish. It's necessary in order for us to pour into other people and to perform how we were put here to perform. And I believe that self-care has been put on a pedestal where it's going to the spa or getting your hair done. Mm-hmm. But really, self-care is nourishing your body, your mind, and your soul in a way that is going to help you grow. So it's not necessarily, I need to go to the spa, or I need to, like, we're so advanced, we swipe the card. Like, that's not the only form of self-care that there is available. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we have to, like, self-care, my definition of self-care is pouring back into you so that you can pour back into others.
Okay, and that's an excellent point, because it's so important that when you talk about being fulfilled as a whole person, that you give back to the community.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Talk a little bit about that and how important it is to your whole well-being.
It's extremely important, and I teach my clients that especially with social media being so big, it's a highlight reel. And so we want to have what that person have, or we want to, we want to accomplish what that person has accomplished. But when you take care of yourself, you gain a type of clarity that helps you know what your real purpose is. And when it comes to purpose and gifts, it's not for us to keep.
Right.
It's for us to strengthen the community, for us to bring the community together. Like, there's a lot of excluding and, you have this, so, I'm attracted to luxury things, but that's not what you want to make sure that you are adding value that don't depreciate.
And so when you look at adding value, that starts with yourself.
Exactly.
So how do you do that?
Me personally?
On a personal basis. And how do you help your clients do that as well?
So on a personal basis, I'm a lifelong student. I am always learning something. And it's not necessarily because I want to know it, but I know the power in delivery. So I could learn something and share it with you, and you may have heard it somewhere else, but how I deliver it to you, you may be like, oh my gosh, really, Monica?
Right. So you receive it in different ways.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm always learning, and I'm always making sure that I'm not complacent and that I'm growing, because I believe that if we're not growing, then we are just existing. And I teach my clients that. And that's one reason, like earlier you asked me, well, what's the difference between life coaches, health coaches, and lifestyle strategists? And as a lifestyle strategist, I teach my clients that those one-size-fits-all approaches that we try to apply to our lives don't necessarily work for us. So we have to find what is going to work for us. And sometimes even once we find what works, we plateau. So then we have to continue to do things so that we can grow and continue to get results.
So the goal is to never stop learning.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll talk more in just a minute.
Okay.
All right. Still to come on Tar Heel Talk, how to manage stress and a stress-free schedule. We'll explain after these messages. Today's show focuses on efforts to establish healthy habits for professionals that can help them stress less and live more. With us again is our expert and lifestyle strategist, Monica Bundy. Monica, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, we were talking about some efforts to help people stress less. And I know one way that you have designed for us and put together a list for us is to, first of all, talk about celebrating small wins.
Absolutely. So the reason I find that to be important, and I teach my clients that, is because oftentimes we are so goal focused or destination focused that once we've completed our due to done list daily, or once we've made some progress, we're still so focused on that destination or that overall goal that we don't realize how far we've come from where we started. And that leads to burnout, which is a type of stress.
Right. So talk a little bit more about that, because I know that a lot of times we do get focused on the bigger picture and not celebrate those small victories.
So one way that I teach to celebrate the small wins as well is to always remember why we're doing what we're doing that leads to the destination. And when we think about our why, we don't necessarily want to connect it to, well, I want to lose weight, or I want to eat healthier. But we want to connect it to a feeling.
Right.
So as you start to have more energy, you start to realize that you're not skipping meals, and that you're able to focus more because you're not starving yourself. You're not, your body's not needing fuel. You celebrate those wins as well. So once you start to feel how you desire to feel, then you continue to make sure that you feel that way. And small wins is what gets us there.
Why is it so important to celebrate and recognize those small wins?
Because once you make progress and celebrate your small wins, it does help with confidence, and it helps with you feeling like you are making progress, which you really are. Oftentimes when we're so focused on that destination, we don't feel like we're making progress, and we're like, well, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? Where is my breakthrough? Not realizing that 2 weeks ago you couldn't walk up the steps without, breathing hard, or you couldn't make it throughout the day without feeling like you needed a nap.
Right.
So once you start to realize those wins, like those are what leads you to the destination.
Right. Now, your work with clients, what exactly do you do with a person one-on-one?
Honestly, it really depends on the person's goal, their current lifestyle habits, and their commitment level. Because I have some people who come to me and they are independent, so they don't need that accountability. But then I have some people who come to me and they need accountability. So overall, I develop a lifestyle plan that helps them reach their goal. So I don't have any two lifestyle plans that I develop that are alike, because no two bodies are alike. So we need different things to reach different goals.
Okay. So how does a person know that they need a lifestyle strategist?
A person knows that they need a lifestyle strategist if they are stressed or if they don't feel fulfilled in life and they feel like there's more out there. So I started because I personally was stressed financially. And it's been 5.5 years, so I'm here today. But if you know or you feel like there's more for you, then you need a lifestyle strategist.
Okay. So people who want to achieve more than they are currently in their career, their profession, they need a lifestyle strategist.
Exactly.
Okay.
And most of my clients, I have two categories. They want to get started, so they know there's more and they want more, but they don't know where to begin. And then I have the category of clients where they've gotten started, but they've hit that plateau. So they're like, well, what do I do next?
How can people find out more information about you and the work that you do?
So I have a website. It's www.mbundyconsulting.com. And that is a page that will give them all the links that they need to learn more about me, my services, and my products.
Okay. And when you talk about having a lifestyle strategist, why is that so important for someone looking at their career and their career changes?
It's important because no one is put here to live the journey we call life alone. And oftentimes we turn to Google and we try to do it by ourselves. And it's important that you have the person who's going to speak life into your dreams, the person who's going to work with you, get in the trenches and help you develop that action plan, and then also hold you accountable so that you can get the results that you desire and live. I used to use the term live your best life, but society has made that to seem like it's a perfect life. But I feel like we don't live a perfect life. We can live a better life. So your best life is always right now in what you do to make a change.
Okay. And when you talk about living your best life and people, having that support and that guidance through a life strategist, why is that necessary?
It's necessary because we were not put here to live a limited life. We were put here to live an abundant life. And as a woman of God, I know that some people have developed habits that have gotten them where they are. So we have to break those habits and build new habits. And I use a lot of my experience and a lot of my education to help my clients. And it's important because, and like I shared a tip with you, it's important that as a professional, we have duties that we fulfill, but it's important to let other professionals help you as well because that's their gift.
Right, absolutely. We're going to take a break. We'll talk more in just a minute. We're back with more Tar Heel Talk after these messages. Welcome back to Tar Heel Talk. I'm Sonia Williams. Stress is a part of life, especially business life. And there are simply too many things that require our attention, which can mean that it is far too easy for us to be overwhelmed or worn down. Well, today's expert has been helping us establish healthy habits for busy professionals that can help us live, stress less and live more. And with us again is Monica Bundy, life strategist. Monica, thank you again so much for being with us.
My pleasure, thank you.
You were talking about ways for us to stress less and live more. We were talking about some of those strategies, and one is to schedule some downtime just like you would a work meeting.
Yes, that's one of my favorite ones. That's important because if we go, we don't allow our bodies the downtime so that it can replenish itself. And then two, if the mind is constantly working, as I previously stated, like you lead yourself to burnout. And what I don't think a lot of people realize is unmanaged stress. So stress can't be avoided 100%. Like it just can't. But unmanaged stress leads to health issues that sometimes there's no cure for it. So we want to make sure that we schedule that downtime to give our body the time to rest and relax and recharge so that we can perform properly the following day or even maybe later in that day.
How do you balance that? Because we have a lot of, especially millennials, they are very driven and very career focused. How do you have that work-life balance that you do schedule that downtime and you have that time to relax and not focus on work?
So for me personally, I'm an introvert. So I have to have downtime. And trying to be an extrovert for so long, I was exhausted, mentally, physically, spiritually, just exhausted. And so I balanced that by Sundays are like my down days. And I still do things like meal plan, meal prep, but I'm like less on social media, making sure that that's my day to prepare for the week. And so it's a lot of quiet time on Sunday. Even once I get home, and on my ride home sometimes, there's no, like, I'm not listening to the music or I'm not on the phone. So, like, downtime doesn't necessarily mean take a nap or, but it means, like, just chill, relax, So you balance it based on your schedule. So lunchtime, instead of, staying at your desk and still reading through emails, just eat lunch. Just be mindful, chill, eat lunch. Or, on a break, instead of still sitting at your desk scrolling through social media, because you brought up millennials, so scrolling through social media, maybe get up and, walk around the building 2 times to unplug, that downtime.
Right, so stepping away from social media, electronics.
And work.
Right, and that's extremely important.
Exactly.
And another tip that you offer is to seek help from other professionals.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that.
It's important to seek help from other professionals because they're the expert or professional in that area. So oftentimes, and even I was guilty of this for a while, I would think, okay, I'm going to save money or I'm going to save time if I do it myself. But in hindsight, I didn't save money, I didn't save time because I was having to do it myself over and over and over because I wasn't the expert or the professional. So there are people who are gifted in areas to help us excel or to help us accomplish things, and we have to let them do what they are here to do, just as if we are here to do what we are here to do.
Absolutely. Now, for people who may be watching, what is the advantage of hiring a lifestyle strategist?
So the advantage of hiring a lifestyle strategist, one, it decreases the stress of not knowing, it decreases the stress of wanting a change and not knowing where to begin or not knowing what's the next step to take. If there's research or anything that needs to be done, I will do that for them so they can still take care of work, take care of home, do their hobbies or whatever it is that they are doing so that they're not taking away, but we can still work together and get the results.
Okay. And at what point in your career would you look at hiring a lifestyle strategist?
Knowing what I know today and being in this industry for the last 5.5 years, I wish I had access to a lifestyle strategist in my mid to late 20s.
Okay. So the sooner the better.
Yes, the sooner the better. Because we get so, it's kind of like something later in life where people are trying to find themselves. And I feel like if I had the support and the accountability and someone who, like I tell people all the time, like I'm really good at hearing what's not being said. So if I had someone that saw what I was doing and how I was living, then a lot of the stress and health issues that I had personally could have been prevented. But I'm thankful because it helped me to get to where I am right now.
And that's extremely important because I think a lot of times people think, they're struggling with their career and what they want to do in life, but don't really know where to go from that point. But as a lifestyle strategist, you're here to help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, talk a little bit more about how you can help with that.
So there are people who, if I can say this, they are living a life that they were told to live. Not realizing the type of stress and overwhelm that creates. And so talking to them, and it's very important that we communicate, like talking to them and hearing where they are right now and where they wish to be, I can help them fill the gap and help them get started. And even if it's a skill set or someone else that they need to speak to, then I can help them locate that person. Like I said, use other professionals. Like I'm really big at that.
Absolutely. It's extremely important. How can people find out more information about you and the work that you're doing?
So they can find out more by visiting www.mbundyconsulting.com.
Monica Bundy, it is such a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing and the help that you're providing to our community. And thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. That's it for this week's Tar Heel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, or send us an email to tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonia Williams. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.